Hello, my people. It's my hope that you are well and the Lord has kept you safe. Now, this evening, I want us to have some small conversation about something that is going round through the social media. It's something related to investments, to finance. So it's still within the scope of what we are supposed to converse about. Pengine umeona, pengine hujaona. So there's this lady who is going rounds through the social medias. Sijui anaitwa sijui Pasima Trevor. And I don't know how true I don't know how true the story is. But I don't think it can be rumors. The way it is blowing. I don't think it can be completely false. So I'm not sure that it's a true story, but now because it is a probable scenario, let's talk about it. So it is going around that this lady has a possibility of having scammed Kenyans around 300 million. Yes, it's quite some huge amount. And how did she do that? From the information I have gathered, definitely from the internet, it happens that it's like she started running a Shylock business that is definitely lending people money. Then sijui anasema demand ikakuwa juu kushinda supply yake, and that's how she started collecting money from other people. She collects the money, she lends the money and pays people interest. In short, alijifanya kabank, alijifanya tu yeye mwenyewe vile yako hivyo, yeye ni kabank. Naokota deposits from people, she lends and give the depositors interest. But saa hii inasemekana haonekani kwenye yako, hajulikani kwenye yako. She has disappeared. And many people are out there crying, sijui vile walieka pesa mingi. They invited their relatives, they invited their friends, they invited their parents. Pesa yao imekunywa maji. And we are not here to blame them. Of course, they were still trying to find some good out of their money. In their minds, they were investing. So let's just say that it is an investment that gone wrong. So we are not here to blame anyone. The best we can do is get to learn from the experience. So this person decided to operate like a bank. Alijifanya ka bank. Because to say less, whatever she was doing is exactly, it is the same model that banks operate. That's how banks operate. Banks act as an intermediary between those who have excess and those who need that money. So the banks collect deposits from investors or depositors. They lend that money at an interest. Then they pay interest to those who had deposited their money. And it is interesting that this lady was paying an interest of 23% per month. Yes, 23% per month, not per annum. 23% per month. That means that ukiinvest 100,000, you are entitled to 23,000 Kenya shillings every month. And that is the very first red flag that you are supposed to note. That interest rate is ridiculous. Even if it was 23% per annum, that's too high. Because kwani hawa watu wenye anakopesha pesa wao wanalipa interest ya gapi? Of course he has to take some management fee. as the person who is organizing all these things. So it is the interest that she collects from people. She should get some management fee ajilipe, then the balance sasa ndo distribute kwa investors. But so akikupea 23% per month, kwani mwenye amepewa loan analipa pesa ngapi? That is the first question that we should ask ourselves, because I think hii time yote watu walikuwa wanatuma pesa huko, hawakuwa wanaongea sana, wanakuja kuongea wakati maneno imechomeka. Watu hawakuwa wanaongea sana, maybe ni vile watu wanasemanga you make your moves in silence. So people are not talking about it, vile wamekuwa vile wanatuma pesa huko, vile kimeumana ndo wamekuja kuongea. So I get to think some of the best rate that a bank can give to depositors, hata ukitaka you can confirm this with your bank, it is an interest between 10% and 12%, and definitely that has to be some huge amount, and for some long period, maybe 1 year or something. So at 12% per annum, I think that is one of the best rate that you can get from your commercial bank for your deposits. Reason being, the bank will lead that deposit to a borrower. But you see, we are not living in an ideal world that all loans that we have given will be paid. But you still find that even a bank that has procedures, a bank that has policies on how loans should be given, how customers are appraised, committees sit down to discuss those facilities, you still get that some facilities still get unpaid. Then how do you tell me that this person will be able to collect your money, lend the money to others, collect back the loans, and give you an interest of 23% per month? See, then it's not possible in the real world where we are living. So every time banks are reporting their figures, their financial results, there's some things that will always be in that report. NPLs, and NPLs means non-performing loans. These are facilities that customers are no longer paying the interest, customers are no longer paying the principal amount. As in bank imejaribu kufikia huyo mtu, imemtafuta and bado hafanyi kitu. That's an non-performing loan. Maybe imejaribu kufikia guarantors wake, such. You will also hear something like provision of bad debts as banks report their financial figures. And provision of bad debt ni zile loan bank imesema hii imeenda, as in they can no longer pursue the customer. Maybe they tried to get the security that the customer had given, walisha liquidate, but bado haikulipa ile pesa walikuwa wanahitaji. So wanafika hapo wanasema hii shaenda, huyu ameenda, haezi lipa. So and they have to provide that from their profits. That's a bank yenye iko na all the resources, iko na all the legal procedures to pursue that person. Then you can't tell me that an individual who is just acting like a Shylock atakopesha watu pesa, they pay back the money, and she is able to pay her investors an interest rate of 23%. So the whole story does not make sense, but definitely there is what she used to entice people to get into the trap. But such interest rates it is one of the red flags that you should note from an investment. Like you see anyone giving you interest, whether it is a bank, whether it is an insurance company, it means that they have taken your money, they have invested the money, they have gotten returns, they have charged some fee, then mabaki ndo wanakupea. So you should ask yourself, ni wapi wanaenda kuinvest hii pesa yangu such that it comes back with this amount of interest. And if you cannot be able to answer that question, or that question fails to make sense to you, then that's a red flag. The other thing, try to have your money in organizations that have a good structure, that are well structured. Like, okay, ideally, the whole thing of organization being regulated would not really give assurance that your money won't be lost, because at the same time you have stories of Metropolitan Sacco that is going around of how 15 billion investors' money has been lost, definitely through fraud within the Sacco, within the management, the former management or something. But the Sacco is still regulated by SASRA. But it's not a matter of okay, it does not mean if an organization is regulated, things cannot go wrong. It is just a matter of chances. The probability of things going wrong, it's a bit lower than where there is no one that is keeping that person in check. Like, she is just himself. She does whatever that she feels she wants. So the probability of that thing ending in tears, it is higher than your money being in the bank, being in a circle that is a bit regulated. Banks have a report to give to the Central Bank of Kenya. So they have to keep their houses in order. Circles need to report to SASRA. They have to keep their houses in order. Banks have auditors and such. They can note whenever things are going wrong. But how do you trust an individual person? Mtu mwenye umeona tu kwa social media, umeona akipromotiwa, umeona vile anaishi maisha mazuri. I doubt whether even those investors know her real name, because ile jina iko pale na yenye bado wana trend nayo ni jina ya social media. So it would be very unwise to keep your hard earned money. Kama ni ya kuiba ni sawa, unaweza peleka huko, but you need to protect your hard earned money. Sikatai unataka interest, but don't be greedy. Go to that thing that makes sense. Try to have a balance between security and returns. Have a balance between risk and returns. Yes, we say high returns, high risk, high return, low risk, low returns. But some things are obvious. They add in premium tiers. So if you are if you cannot put your money in somewhere with a good structure, or organization with a good structure, then you better have that money lying idle in your bank, kushinda uende na huko ukaipoteze. Kieka bank, make sure that the bank is regulated by the CBK. We have other bodies such as SASRA. We have the Capital Markets Authority. At least try to find an organization that is well structured. Na chances za mambo kwenda mlama ziko chini kidogo than such scams that we are hearing. So as Kenyans, we are putting our guard too low, that mtu anaweza kuconvince umpe pesa ati atakuwa anakulipa interest. Akidisappear utampata wapi? If a bank collapses, it have many branch unaweza jaribu kufikia, but huyo mtu akidisappear utampata wapi? So as far as you are try to get as high returns as you can for your money, chunga usiipoteze yote. Be vigilant and keep your guards on. Let's not be that easy to convince that mtu anaweza kuambia tu kitu na umpe pesa yake. In any investment that you think of doing, due diligence is very key. Yes, tuchunge tusiibiwe.